The Battle of Daejeon, fought in 1592 during the Japanese invasions of Korea, also known as the Imjin War, was a significant conflict that took place early in Toyotomi Hideyoshi's attempts to conquer the Korean peninsula and use it as a base to launch further invasions into China. This period was marked by large-scale military campaigns that profoundly impacted the Korean kingdom of Joseon, leading to widespread destruction and suffering. The battle at Daejeon, although not as widely known as some other encounters during the Imjin War, played a crucial role in the unfolding drama of the conflict. In 1592, Japan, under the leadership of Toyotomi Hideyoshi, embarked on an ambitious campaign to extend its influence across Asia. Having unified Japan after a prolonged period of civil war, Hideyoshi sought to expand his empire and saw Korea as the gateway to China, the real prize in his eyes. The Joseon dynasty of Korea, however, was caught unprepared for the sheer scale and intensity of the Japanese assault. The initial Japanese advance was rapid and overwhelming, taking Korean forces by surprise and capturing Seoul, the capital, in a matter of weeks. The strategic importance of the Battle of Daejeon lay in its geographical location. Daejeon, situated in the central region of Korea, was a crucial point along the main route to the north and the capital, Hanyang, modern-day Seoul. As the Japanese forces, led by the skilled General Konishi Yukinaga, advanced northward, they encountered Korean forces attempting to regroup and mount a resistance at Daejeon. The Korean army, under the command of General Yi, faced the daunting task of defending against a highly disciplined and well-equipped Japanese force that was both numerically superior and tactically proficient. As the Japanese forces approached Daejeon, they met stiff resistance from the Korean troops. General Yi, understanding the importance of holding Daejeon, attempted to rally his forces and organize a defense despite the odds. The Korean troops, composed largely of hastily assembled local militias and remnants of the regular army, were hampered by a lack of proper training and equipment. Nevertheless, they were determined to slow the Japanese advance and buy time for the main Korean forces to organize a more robust defense further north. The battle itself was marked by intense and chaotic fighting. The Japanese, known for their use of firearms, particularly the arquebus, employed their superior firepower to devastating effect. The Korean forces, on the other hand, relied heavily on traditional weapons such as bows and swords, and their efforts to counter the Japanese gunfire were met with heavy losses. Despite the technological and tactical disadvantages, the Korean soldiers fought valiantly, drawing on their knowledge of the local terrain and utilizing guerrilla tactics to inflict damage on the Japanese forces. As the battle raged on, it became increasingly clear that the Korean forces at Daejeon could not hold out indefinitely against the relentless Japanese assault. The superior discipline and coordination of the Japanese troops, combined with their advanced weaponry, began to take a toll on the Korean defenders. General Yi, recognizing the untenable position his forces were in, made the difficult decision to retreat in an effort to preserve the remnants of his army for future engagements. The retreat from Daejeon marked a turning point in the early stages of the Imjin War. Although the Korean forces were unable to stop the Japanese advance at Daejeon, their resistance was not in vain. The battle delayed the Japanese forces long enough for the Korean leadership to begin mobilizing additional troops and planning more organized defensive strategies. This delay also allowed for the arrival of crucial reinforcements from the Ming dynasty of China, which would later play a decisive role in turning the tide of the war. The aftermath of the Battle of Daejeon highlighted the dire situation facing Korea in the early months of the Imjin War. The rapid Japanese advance had laid bare the weaknesses in the Korean military and governmental structures, prompting a period of intense introspection and reform. The Korean leadership, under King Seonjo, sought to rebuild and strengthen the army, calling upon the civilian population to support the war effort and rallying the country in the face of foreign invasion. Despite the setbacks, the Korean resistance continued to grow. The battle at Daejeon, though a tactical defeat, served as a rallying point for Korean patriotism and determination. It underscored the resilience of the Korean people in the face of overwhelming odds and set the stage for the larger, more decisive battles to come. The eventual involvement of Chinese forces and the increasing effectiveness of the Korean military contributed to the eventual stalemate and withdrawal of Japanese forces. In the broader context of the Imjin War, the Battle of Daejeon was an early indicator of the challenges that both sides would face in the protracted conflict. For Japan, it highlighted the difficulties of maintaining supply lines and controlling a hostile territory. For Korea, it underscored the need for military modernization and strategic alliances, leading to the strengthening of ties with the Ming dynasty. The battle also exemplified the complexities of warfare during this period, where technological advancements and traditional tactics intersected in new and challenging ways. Ultimately, the Battle of Daejeon and the larger conflict of the Imjin War left a lasting legacy on the Korean peninsula. The war brought about significant changes in Korean military and political structures, fostering a spirit of national unity and resilience. It also had far-reaching consequences for the regional dynamics of East Asia, influencing relations between Korea, Japan, and China for centuries to come. The story of Daejeon, with its themes of courage, perseverance, and strategic adaptation, continues to resonate as a testament to the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity.